We did encounter 2 of the probable 3 people who have been lost in the blue hole.
The ocean swallowed their lights and then revealed a truth no one was ready for. In 2018, billionaire Richard Branson, explorer Fabien Cousteau, and a team of top scientists descended into Belize's legendary Great Blue Hole with sonar, submersibles, and one mission: expose the secrets hidden nearly 400 feet below. But what they uncovered wasn't just ancient rock or coral, it was death, fossils, trash, human remains, and something down there no scientist could explain. Were these signs of Earth's violent past? Or evidence of something still alive in the darkness? This wasn't a routine expedition. It was a plunge into time, mystery, and an unsettling presence waiting at the bottom. What the team witnessed left scientists shaken and the world speechless. The descent began as the submersibles slipped beneath the crystal blue Belizean waters. The world watched live. But for Branson, Cousteau, pilot Erica Bergman, and their elite marine crew, this was no media spectacle. This was a journey into one of the planet's most misunderstood and most dangerous natural formations. The Great Blue Hole had fascinated explorers for decades, ever since Jacques Cousteau first dropped into its shadows back in 1971. But his tools, dim lights, and early-era gear could only reveal so much. Too many mysteries remained sealed in the dark. Fast forward to 2018, and a new team returned, not to repeat old questions, but to finally get answers. This mission wasn't spontaneous or casual. It was the result of months of planning, blending state-of-the-art ocean tech, crystal-clear cameras, and sophisticated sonar systems. Richard Branson, famous for pushing boundaries, wasn't just tagging along. He funded and boosted the expedition as part of Ocean Unite's 30 by 30 initiative, a global effort to protect nearly a third of our oceans by 2030. For Branson, this dive wasn't just adventure, it was advocacy, a chance to tell the world loudly that the oceans are in trouble, and we're running out of time to fix them. The team boarded the Stingray 500 and Idabel submersibles with the excitement of astronauts entering a new planet. They glided past colorful coral gardens, buzzing with reef sharks, sea turtles, and glowing tropical fish. But the deeper they went, the quicker life, light, and even sound faded away. The water shifted from bright turquoise to deep sapphire, then to a cold, empty gray, until finally, only darkness remained. As pressure climbed and temperature dropped, a stillness settled over the crew. They were entering a world no human was meant to inhabit. Peering through the rounded acrylic dome felt like floating through space. Sonar screens twinkled like constellations, revealing massive walls the human eye couldn't see. Only sound could touch them. This was no wild, chaotic pit. It was a cleanly carved monument of ancient geology, shaped by collapse and time. Sonar unveiled the hole's breathtaking structure, a perfect circle nearly 1,000 feet wide and plunging over 400 feet down. And as the sub sank lower, the story of the blue hole unfolded with it. They weren't just diving into water. They were moving through the layers of Earth's past. At around 300 feet, they crossed the last line, the end of natural light and the beginning of a silent, untouched realm that hadn't seen life in ages long before the Caribbean Sea took shape. This place wasn't underwater at all. During the last ice age, sea levels were hundreds of feet lower, leaving what is now the blue hole as a massive system of limestone caves, mineral-rich droplets, carved stalactites that hung like stone swords, some more than 40 feet long. Millennia passed. Ice melted. The ocean rose. The cave roof gave way, collapsing in a violent event that formed the circular abyss we see today. The 2018 sonar scans captured ancient terraces, former sea level markers, etched into the walls like fossilized timelines, one terrace at 69 feet, another at 161, another around 300, but the real shock came next. The stalactites weren't straight, they leaned, some nearly 12 degrees, proving that tectonic forces had shifted the entire cave as it formed. The blue hole wasn't just sculpted by water, it was twisted by the earth itself. The sonar mapping painted a picture of a geological time capsule untouched for thousands of years. In this pitch-black world, the stalactites lay frozen in place, preserved by darkness and silence. Their story was written in stone, and for the first time, that story was being read. Descending past the 300-foot mark meant entering a zone where oxygen vanishes. Here, a deadly layer of hydrogen sulfide stretched across the sinkhole like a milky white curtain below it. Nothing lived. No bacteria, no fish, no movement at all. Crossing through it was like slipping into an alien world. Beneath this toxic layer, the sub's lights revealed something heartbreaking, a mass grave of conch shells. Hundreds, maybe thousands, lay scattered across the bottom. These creatures had slipped or fallen into the hole and tried to climb out, leaving faint trails behind them. But once they passed the hydrogen sulfide barrier, suffocation was immediate. Their last desperate movements remained carved into the sand forever. But the deepest shock wasn't from ancient creatures. It came from something all too human. The crew spotted two still, silent forms resting on the seabed, the preserved bodies of divers who had vanished years earlier. Their gear lay scattered, tanks, fins, gauges, untouched by decay due to the lack of oxygen. Out of respect, the team left them exactly where they were and notified Belizean authorities after the mission. As sub-pilot, Erica Bergman later said, "It's dark and peaceful down there. Just let them rest." This moment transformed the expedition. It wasn't just a scientific dive anymore. It was a reminder of the cost of pushing into the unknown. These divers weren't reckless thrill seekers. They were explorers, part of the same quest for discovery. And now, they were a permanent part of the blue hole story. Yet, even after this heavy discovery, the ocean had one more secret to reveal. Near the bottom, sonar began showing something unusual, patterns in the sediment that didn't match anything known. These weren't conch trails, they weren't geological formations, they weren't caused by currents. There are no currents this deep. They were tracks, intentional, repeating, curving in arcs and circles, crossing each other like pathways, tracks made by something moving. But what could move down here? No oxygen, no light, pressure that crushes nearly everything. Nothing known to science should be capable of leaving tracks in a place like this. Whatever made them shouldn't exist, and that's where the mystery of the Great Blue Hole only deepens. They weren't the chaotic impact marks of falling debris. They formed deliberate paths, as if something had moved with control and direction across the sediment, at a depth where no known life could survive, let alone travel. And the team quickly ruled out the obvious because the submersibles hadn't made the marks. Their propulsion didn't match the shapes. There were no signs of mechanical disturbance. Ocean currents couldn't have created them in such still water, and no known marine creature could leave trails like these, leaving the scientists silent as the tracks suggested intentional motion by something invisible in the darkness. Sonar revealed figure-8 loops, spirals, overlapping paths, and trails stretching beyond view, all fresh and sharply defined, sparking speculation about unknown life forms surviving extreme pressure, chemosynthetic extremophils, geological anomalies, or even secret man-made missions. Yet none fit the scale or precision, and when the footage was released, the world erupted with experts arguing, Reddit exploding, and headlines asking if movement had been found in a dead zone as the crew admitted they had no answers. making this one of deep-sea exploration's rare moments where instruments were clear but conclusions were not, leaving the tracks as a mystery that defied assumptions about Earth's oceans. As the team prepared to leave with data and questions, they revisited the final images recorded before entering the hole, because this expedition had become a global event broadcast live by Discovery Channel, National Geographic, and private teams, showing millions the dive through corrosive hydrogen sulfide layers and crushing pressure, where viewers witnessed the conch graveyard and sunken divers in real time, reacting with shock, awe, curiosity, and grief as hashtags like #BlueHoleDive trended worldwide, turning a scientific mission into a cultural movement, as Richard Branson recognized that emotional connection drives conservation, and every piece of plastic at 300 feet and every vanished coral ledge became undeniable proof of human impact. When the mysterious tracks appeared, the internet exploded with theories ranging from glitches to natural anomalies to the paranormal, and even the normally stoic crew exchanged stunned looks on live camera, making the dive unforgettable and fueling global discussions on climate, pollution, and the unknown depths. Before surfacing, the team uncovered one last twist hidden in the data as the dive evolved into a call to action, revealing Earth's ancient past and endangered future, and Branson brought the findings to Belize's Prime Minister Dean Barrow, urging immediate protection of marine ecosystems and proposing expanded protected areas and a ban on gill nets, perfectly timed with global attention and resulting in strong political support as new protections became likely, marking a victory as meaningful as any discovery. Momentum spread as schools used sonar data in lessons, universities added 3D maps to courses, nonprofits used the footage in campaigns, and the dive fueled the 30 by 30 initiative to protect 30% of oceans by 2030, while society embraced ocean advocacy with viewers petitioning for reef protections and sharing haunting imagery online, with plastic at 300 feet serving as devastating proof of human negligence. The dive redefined modern exploration as a mission of learning, documenting, storytelling, and inspiring global action, with millions forming emotional bonds to the ocean and the team surfacing with more questions, especially about the unexplained tracks, realizing that ocean secrets could vanish before being discovered. The Great Blue Hole's message was not just scientific, but moral: save what remains, explore what we can, and never assume silence means safety. The dive triggered cultural waves as artists, poets, filmmakers, indigenous communities, and fashion designers incorporated its imagery and message into their work, turning the ocean into a symbol of global identity, and the expedition became an unstoppable movement, ending with the question of what created the tracks at the bottom of the hole, and an invitation for viewers to share theories and continue exploring the mysteries that still wait in Earth's darkest places. As the last images fade and the echoes of the expedition drift into silence, one truth becomes impossible to ignore. We are standing at the edge of a world we still barely understand. Every discovery, every strange structure, every impossible artifact, every signal we can't quite explain, reminds us that the universe is far larger and far stranger than anything we have ever been taught to believe. And yet, for all our curiosity, for all our technology and ambition, we are still like explorers holding a candle in a vast and endless darkness, trying to make sense of shadows that move just beyond the light. What we witnessed here is not just a scientific puzzle. It is a message, a reminder that the mysteries we chase are not waiting to be solved. They are waiting to be respected, because some truths are not fragile, they are ancient. Some secrets are not hidden, they are simply ignored. And some discoveries do not change the world immediately. They change the people who are brave enough to witness them. As the team returned to the surface, exhausted and shaken yet filled with electrifying curiosity. None of them spoke. They didn't need to. Each one of them understood that what they had seen was bigger than data, bigger than exploration, bigger than any one person. It was a door, one that had opened for just a moment, long enough to show us that the world still holds chapters we have not read. And now that we know, we cannot go back to pretending the book is already complete. The real question is not what we found. The real question is, what comes next? Will we continue pushing deeper, asking harder questions, challenging the limits of what we think is possible? Or will we turn away, overwhelmed by the weight of a truth that refuses to fit into the categories we created? For every mystery we uncover, 10 more appear in its shadow. But that is the nature of discovery. That is the price of curiosity. And that is the path chosen by those who refuse to stop searching. So as this journey ends, another begins. The evidence gathered, the anomalies recorded, the unanswered questions, they are now in your hands as much as ours. Maybe one day, someone watching this will be the one who finds the final piece, the missing link, the explanation that connects everything we've seen. Maybe the greatest discoveries are not made by those on the front lines, but by those inspired by them. Remember this moment, not because it was shocking or mysterious or filled with danger, but because it proves something we often forget. The world is still full of wonder. No matter how advanced we become, no matter how much we think we know, there will always be depths we have not explored, secrets we have not uncovered, and truths waiting patiently for the right eyes to see them. And as we close this chapter, let this remain with you. The unknown is not something to fear, it is something to follow. Because behind every unanswered question lies the possibility of a discovery that could change everything. The journey does not end here. It never has. And as long as there are mysteries left in the world, we will keep searching, keep diving, keep pushing the boundaries of what humanity can understand. Thank you for watching, for questioning, and for daring to imagine what might be waiting just beyond the edge of the known world. Stay curious, stay courageous, and remember, the greatest secrets are never truly buried. They're simply waiting for the right moment to be found.